for us. Just tune in, tell a friend and join us to discuss topics that affect us, whether personal or political, local or international. It is a platform for us to build from, so the community can grow to be strong. To the host, Raymond Dugue, Michael Duncan, two of our honorary humanitarian. It's real and it no bogus. Stand against those who stand against us when situation rough and get tedious, get tedious, get tedious. Community focus, community focus, community yo, we have to adjust. Community focus, community focus. Ask the Almighty, Him will guide us. Community focus, community focus. Live up.
Marcus Garvey words come to pass. Marcus Garvey words come to pass. Can't get no food to eat. Can't get no money to spend. Oh, can't get no food to eat. Can't get no money to spend. Oh, come, little one, oh, let me do what I can for you. And you, hello. Come, little one, come. Oh, let me do what I can for you, but you alone. Oh, you know the right hand do it now. Shall be spanked with many stripes, weeping and wailing and mourning. You got yourself together.
Yes, brothers and sisters, greetings, and a very good evening to each and every one of you, brothers and sisters out there. We want to thank you for joining us here on the Community Focus radio program. It's an honor to have you on. It's an honor to be chatting with you, brothers and sisters. We are here for one purpose. That's the development of a grand hierarchy, the development of a self-reliant economic base that is based on race first. Brothers and sisters, for us to truly experience unity and to see the liberation of Africa, we must understand where we have been, we must understand where we are, and it must be clear to us where we are going. In addition to that, we must realize that each and every one of us, we have a role to play, and we must play that role fully. We must leave our communities, our countries, our race better than we receive them. And brothers and sisters, as I often say, everyone cannot do everything. However, everyone can do something. Do what you can do, brothers and sisters, to improve our lot. Do what you can do to make our communities better, bigger, and stronger. Support your local businesses, brothers and sisters. Join a movement. If you don't have one, we have one for you, the UNIA ACL, formed by the greatest man that ever walked on earth, the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. The time is now. The time is now to make that different. Africa, the world over, is calling out to us. Other people from other places have taken advantage of us and our situations, but no longer. We must rise to the occasion and build for our people, build for the next generation. Brothers and sisters, we look at Africa today, and the world is looking at Africa. The world has realized that since the last 200 to 300 years, all they have taken from the soil of Africa equals to less than 1%. So they're clear. They understand, they know what's in Africa's underground, and everyone wants it. Everyone is after it. Therefore, we see the scramble for Africa. But, brothers and sisters, we must put ourselves in the position to take Africa and rule Africa. If not, we'll be ruled by another power very soon. And we don't know how devious or how cruel this other powers will be. We have seen many, many powers come and go. But, brothers and sisters, we must be ready. We must be willing. We must be able to take Africa and make Africa work for us. We Africans must benefit from the resources of Africa. Our resources have gone to building Europe, gone to building the Americas, used to build the Caribbean. It's about time we use these funds, these resources to build Africa, the land of civilization, brothers and sisters. It's up to you and I to stand up and make that difference. Brothers and sisters, today is Black History Month, Black History Day, Black History Week. Black history should be studied every single day, brothers and sisters. We have a strong heritage, strong culture, and we can't let it pass us by. Brothers and sisters, if we don't teach our history, someone else will give us their history. Someone else will give us their story. For example, the Catholic started their religion over 2,000 years ago. But our spirituality, our way of life preceded theirs by 2,000 or 3,000 years. However, we're living under their philosophy, under their arts, under their culture, under their system. And since the Catholic did that, there have been many more countries and groups who have come by and created their own religion to promote their own way of life. And brothers and sisters, they have used their religion to force their ways upon us. Brothers and sisters, when I look at the Indian man has an Indian God. When I look at the whites, they have a white God. When I look at the Chinese, they have Buddha. They have a Chinese God. Every one, every group, every race, they have a God that look like them. Brothers and sisters, we are the only people who we have a God who look like everybody else. We worship the Indian God. We worship the Chinese God. We worship the white man's God. We worship everybody else's God. So what about our God? When are we going to take our God serious? When are we going to take our way of life, our people? When are we going to honor our ancestors instead of dishonoring them? So again, history is very important, and it cannot be studied only a month, 1 or 2 months out of the year. That's for somebody else. We must study our story every single day and teach it to our children, our future generation, every single day, so we are not lost, so we don't accept someone else's way of life and think that it is ours. Brother Duge, how are you? I guess Brother Duge is not ready yet. Brother Duge, how are you? Well, I'm not hearing the brother, but the
Okay,
work.
President General, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now, brother. How are you?
Okay, we're having some technical issues with the mixer, and I'm not able to use the headphone, but I am in the studio of Hillside, and I can see that you see me. I think I saw you before, but I don't see you anymore. But anyway, greetings, President General. How are you?
Greetings, brother. How are you? Yeah, so
Okay,
we were talking
doing
about the
well.
importance of history, and that's why we have to promote our history and our way of life. And it's because of our history being taken away why we are worshiping another man's God, why we are worshiping everybody else's God instead of our God. As I said, everybody else having their gods look like them, but our God is everybody else's God. But we cannot allow for our story to go untold. So we have to unearth the truth and teach it to our people. Today in Black History, Brother Raymond, 1962, Uganda declared independence. Sir Raymond, it's amazing that brothers and sisters who were born in the early 1900s, in the teens, in the 20s, and in the 30s, and even in the 40s, how they were prepared by having Garvey and Garveyism, because by the late 50s, you see our people start coming home. Our people start gaining independence. Not only gaining independence, but taking independence because of what? Because of the environment that was created by the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. And here today, we're seeing another country, Uganda, 1962, gaining its independence. It's amazing. Track and field, we look at the Jamaican way. Track and field, Dion Hemmings, born on this day in 1968. Dion Hemmings is the first Jamaican woman to win a gold medal. It's amazing how Jamaican sprinters have been doing for how many years, but she's the first woman to take home a gold medal. Brother Duguay.
President General, I don't know, it seems that my screen is frozen, but can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you clear, brother.
Okay, talking about, I was a track and field athlete, track runner, a sprinter. Growing up, my favorite sprinter was Donald Query. Why was he my favorite sprinter, President General?
Why,
You ever
brother?
Because he was black. That was why, growing up, the first time I saw him, I think it was the 1976 Olympics. We were watching it, and I saw him. I said, "Holy, whoa!" And from that point on, I was always a big fan. But Donald Query was the very first like track and field runner that I ever wanted to be like to look up to, and I get the feeling, and he was being interviewed, I think, by Jim McKay. He was such a humble guy, and the way he spoke, I just automatically I said, you know what? And from that point on, I started being a fan of Jamaica. But it was Donald Query at the 1976 Olympics, and we were watching that. But getting back to history, President General, what's been done to us hasn't been done to anybody else. They've denatured us.
Of
They've
course.
de-Africanized us.
Yes.
And where Black life doesn't mean anything. So it's one of these things we actually have to keep fighting for it. Otherwise, we lose it. Everyone else is okay. They don't have, nobody's gone through what we've gone through. And so if we don't fight, not fight's the wrong word, if we don't promote, if we don't always advertise and uplift our history, we're actually dying to deaths. We're preventing from our history being told. But the other thing is, those that have placed us in these positions, those people, and they continue to benefit by our disorganization, by our self-hatred, by us never wanting to ever be free. So if we don't, we actually die twice. So brothers and sisters, it's one of these things that you not only have to do it to uplift and promote, but you have to do it so we don't fall back. So history is absolutely important. And how do we know that? Mr. Garvey is the greatest student of history, but he doesn't dwell in it. He uses it for projection. President General, have you ever, did you ever grow up using slingshots in Jamaica?
Of course.
I did. Let me ask you a question. To better use your slingshot, is it a function that you have to pull it back as far as possible to get the most trajectory and the most intense? Let's say you're trying to kill a bird. You forgive me, but that's what I used to do. With my slingshot, try to kill birds. So is it the case that you have to pull it back as far as possible in order to for you to accomplish your objective?
Distance, yes. To get that distance.
Exactly. So, brothers and sisters, we actually have to go back in order to go forwards. If we don't know our history, we actually are failing ourselves. So, but we just don't want to dwell in it. Like, oh, we did this, we did that. That's great. Use it and then project. And that's what Mr. Garvey did. So, President General, it's pretty clear why history is important, because it connects the dots. It gives us all the missing pieces. And get this, President General, if you want to learn European history or anybody else's history, it's really, you have to go through African history, because all of these others came through Africa, and then they came and colonized us, enslaved us, and committed genocide. So history is absolutely important. So I'm going to leave it right there.
Yes, you're so very right, brother Raymond. But speaking about Dion Hemmings and Donald Quarry, Jamaicans have been winning medals at the Olympics for a long time. And some people would think that Jamaica just gifted as far as sprinters are concerned. That's not true. All the other countries, black countries, black islands, they're just as gifted as Jamaicans to run and to sprint. But Jamaicans, the Jamaican system does something better than most other system, is that as a child in Jamaica, as young as the infant stages, the infant or even grade 1, you start competing. And because you start competing at such a young age, because I remember being in Jamaica and having a sports day in my house. It says in my school, and we have a house. My house was the red house. So you see, Brother Raymond, red was always a part of my favorite color as a little boy in Jamaica. And we have competition at that level. At grade 1, in running, I was competing against the other students in grade 1. And because of that, sprinters are identified in Jamaica at a very early age. And this type of competition goes on from grade 1, go on up. You're competing every year. So if you have some type of gift, as far as track and field is concerned in Jamaica, it's going to be identified. And then it is magnified now at the high school level in Jamaica, where track and field is so big that the best athletes in Jamaica want to go in it. But the thing is that you have to have a base, and Jamaica has a good base for a track and field program for the public. Therefore, the talents in Jamaica cannot be hidden because of the programs available from grade 1 level. So again, brothers and sisters, if we want to accomplish things, we have to work. We have to put a system together and we have to apply it. And again, that's why we have seen so many great sprinters, of course, along with the talent that comes out of Jamaica.
President General, where does yellow yam fit into this?
Oh, you say no. People want to say this and say that, but our yam just as good as the yam that's in the other African countries, the black countries, and Jamaican want to claim that is the good yellow yam. Maybe there's something mystic in it, but at the end of the day, when you decide to do math and science, you have to apply yourself. If you want to be a great footballer, you have to practice. Along with having the talent, you have to practice, 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 practice. Brazil again put out the best footballer because of the program they have for footballers at the baby stages.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay, President General, can we switch gears?
Of course, brother.
Saturday morning, you had a conversation with Rasta Soldier.
Yes.
Tell our listeners what happened and why. Why are you communicating with Rasta Soldier now? Go ahead.
Well, Rasta Soldier and a group of our brothers are in the Rahway State Prison, and we're here to serve our people wherever they are. And Rasta Soldier and the brothers there, they need our assistance, they need our love, they need our guidance, and we're here to provide that. And it was an honor that the brother was able to reach out to me from behind the walls of those prisons, the prison system where he's being incarcerated at this time. And it's amazing that the brother has taken on the responsibility to promote Garvey and Garveyism beyond those walls. And those brothers are looking forward to be a great impact on society and their commitment to our people. So I can't tell you how much of an honor it was to speak to Rasta Soldier and know that we're going to be working with him, and at the same time he's even tried to find ways for us to register the Rock as a vendor so they can do business with the Rock from beyond the walls of the prison. So if these brothers are beyond the walls, brother Dugay, and they're trying to do business with us, why shouldn't everybody else doing business with the Rock? Why shouldn't you, brothers and sisters, if you're listening now, doing everything that you can to do business with the Rock, that we may build a better tomorrow? It's an honor to deal with the brother.
President General, I was there Thursday, and it was very good, very good. And at one point, afterwards, he called me to make sure I got home safe and sound. And so we're having a three-way with another individual, Rasai. And he tells Rasai, I couldn't fully understand it because, I don't speak, you haven't educated me enough to be able to communicate like a yard. Anyway, so he tells Rasai, Gay was wicked. He said, you missed it was wicked. He goes on and he said, and guess what? I can't wait for the President General to come. So, President General, no matter what I do, everybody wants to hear you. What do you have to say to that, sir?
Because you make me look better than I am. So when people meet you, if you're making me look actually better than I am, they just can't wait because you're saying, since you're doing such a great job, they're wondering what's coming, brother.
Good answer. Good answer. Okay, good. Okay, that takes care of that. President General, we're having some technical issues here in the studio, but Friday night we did a test run. Prezi was here, and we did a quick 10-minute video, and that we posted on the UNI Rock Media. But it's going to be growing pains, and eventually I'll get it, so we'll be able to do that. Okay, President General, yesterday was October 8th in Brooklyn. we commemorated 86 weeks since the Dominican Republic dictator Rafael Trujillo massacred, and this is a conservative estimate, 40,000. We've uncovered new research that indicates 52,000. Not one bullet was used, President General. It was all machetes.
Wow.
All machetes and knives. I can't imagine how you massacre 40, and then the 40,000, the minimum number that were massacred. We're talking Africans born in Haiti that are in the Dominican Republic. They were trying to get back into Haiti. And then at the border, at the river, they were massacred. I don't even know if it lasted a week. Just imagine killing 40,000 people. No guns, no bullets, just machetes and knives. This is savage. So, President General, and when I had a chance to speak yesterday, look, we discussed it, and then we had a vigil, a march on Nostrand Avenue. You know, when I had a chance to speak, I greeted everyone. And I said, but let me ask you a question. Who is there to defend and protect us? You know, does an entity exist that can defend and protect Black people anywhere, everywhere? And I said to them, it doesn't exist. But guess what? There was a time when that was on the table.
Of course.
His name is Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
Definitely.
He created, well, they know I'm UNIA. Everybody knows I'm UNIA. But, you know, and this is the point. Every chance we get, we have to remind our people why you have to join. By the way, at the East Jersey State, when I was speaking, I said to them, you know, Mr. Garvey's very first business venture, that was the purchase of Liberty Hall. He hadn't even done the Black Star Line Steamship Corporation or the Negro Factories Corporation. He did it through membership dues. And let me tell you, I got the impression, and this is what Rasta Soldier told me. While I was speaking, he was looking at everybody. And he said they were just buying this up. And several of the brothers have already signed up. So, by the way, Rasta Soldier is thinking of having a division there. So I said, well, you're gonna have to speak to the President General when he gets there. Maybe you can inaugurate it when you finally get there. But anyway, but getting back to the massacre in 1937, the first week in October, President General, you know, what people don't realize, we can control our destiny. It's in our hands. Yeah, how many times have you said it? If we change our attitude tonight, our conditions get better. And if you want to continue defending, or if you want to be in a position to defend and protect your people, you've got to come together. Without organization, you can't do it. President General, you know, Amos Wilson goes on about power and organization. You know, they have the power to oppress and kill us. We don't have the power to defend and protect us.
Right.
And to get power, you have to be organized.
Of course.
And you need a philosophy. I've got an organization for you, and I've got a philosophy for you. The organization is a UNIACL, and the philosophy is race first. And where do we get that from? The Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. It's so simple, but that's what we need to do. So, President General, can we build this entity that can defend and protect us anywhere on the planet? Please answer.
We have to. We don't have a choice. It must be built. If we don't build this entity, we don't know what tomorrow holds for us. Brothers and sisters, in building this entity, you also have to build security for yourself. Because if you're not able to defend yourself, people will do whatever they want with you. You see, the strong will always suppress the weak. So if you want to be suppressed, if you want to be oppressed, just continue to be a weak person, to be a weak group, to be a weak race. So brothers and sisters, if we want to see that difference, we must organize ourselves and make sure we're not begging. Make sure when we're dealing with any man, we're standing on the same platform. We're not begging. That's the situation with Mr. Garvey. When Mr. Garvey had to deal with anyone, it doesn't matter who, he was always on the same platform, if not higher. So he was always bargaining from a standpoint of power, authority, and power. So we have to
Yes, sir.
build it, Brother Duguay. We don't have any choice about it. I don't know if you have anything
Okay.
to cover before the break. It's about that time.
Okay, no,
Um,
let's take a break. When we get back, I'd like you to discuss the event at the Rock yesterday and then talk about today's so-called holiday.
yes,
Okay?
brothers and sisters, it's a very good evening. Thank you for joining us. Continue to join us. This is the community focus program on UNIA Rock Media. Hold it right there. Community focus will be right back. Thank you.
My people, shop at The Rock.
The wait is over. What started out as a vision is now reality.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. The Federation of African Caribbean American Restaurant Association is ready. Come and
Shop at The Rock.
13205 Merrick Boulevard, inside of Belknap Street.
You need to save money for all your breadfruit, yellow yam, bami, cachebonic pepper, plantains, bananas, all your fish and meat product. Come to The Rock. Wholesale price every day.
This is Dubmaster Chris, and I'm endorsing The Rock, the Restaurant Owners Corporation, inside of Belknap Street. Bring your shopping basket and shop till you drop. Save yourself some money and shop at The Rock.
Jamaica Breeze Buffet Restaurant, where it's Thanksgiving every day. Choose from 60 of our best dishes, featuring breakfast all day and a wide selection of Jamaican and Southern style favorites. At Jamaica Breeze, you choose what you want and pay what you want. Don't forget to try our juicy beef and chicken patties. And remember, we also accept Jamaican dollars. Jamaica Breeze now has 2 Queens locations. Our original store at 23202 Merrick Boulevard at the corner of 232nd Street in Laurelton, and our new location at 2136 Mott Avenue at the corner of Redfern Avenue in Far Rockaway. Visit us today and come hungry. You won't be disappointed.
To go back home. This couldn't be my home. It must be somewhere else, or I would kill myself. Cause I can't get no close to it, can't get no food to eat, I can't get a job to get bread. That's why I've got to go back home. If I've got to walk, if I've got to sing, I've got to go back home. There is no gladness, nothing but sadness, nothing like a future here. I've got to leave this land, I've got to find myself on some other side. I just can't stand this life of living. Lord, I can't get no close to it, can't get no food to eat, can't get a job to get bread.
That's why I got to go back home. Yes, brothers and sisters, I got to go back home. Brothers and sisters, we have to always go home. And home is Africa, land of the origin. Brothers and sisters, we're going to the Garden of Eden in Kenya. Brothers and sisters, we're going to the land where time began. Ethiopia, land of our fathers' civilization. Brothers and sisters, you at some point you must join us. You must see for yourself, not only here, but see for yourself. Brother Duguay, you ready to go back home?
Well, put it this way: did you complete your visa application yet?
But I know my wife was doing it today, so I'm sure she completed it.
Okay. I was on the phone with the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Spence, walking through the Kenya visa, and I know Sophie did call me at one point, so I know she's on top of it. So, and I believe Sister Antoinette completed Ethiopian visa. Seems that that's a lot easier. You know, it's fun. And President General, I'm ready, willing, and able. So I can't wait to go back home where I belong. Okay. Having said that, President General, before we talk about yesterday's event at the Rock, it's my pleasure to inform our listeners, our members, and our investors that two of our very own investors, Brother Patrick Loggy and brother and sister Keisha Boatwain, will be opening the Squeeze Juice Bar and Vegan Treats. Squeeze Juice Bar and Vegan Treats. It's at 5 Atlantic Avenue in Lynbrook, New York. It will be opening on Saturday, October 21, 2023. In Lynbrook, we'll be in Africa. So I wish them luck. I know a lot of our members will come out and support them. And you know where they're getting their food from. I don't have to tell you, the food, all of their supplies will be coming from the Faka Rock. Again, Squeeze Juice Bar and Vegan Treats at 5 Atlantic Avenue, Lynbrook, New York. The grand opening is Saturday, October 21. Do not want to miss this. And so I know they'll be taking pictures and posting it. So I'm looking forward to that. Again, congratulations to Sister Keisha Boatwain and Brother Patrick Wagner. In fact, it was because of Brother Patrick that Sister Keisha became an investor. So we thank them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm definitely, brothers and sisters, that's a business we're going to have to support. When our people go into business, we have to make sure we reach out and just support, because in that initial stages, they need that support from the family, from the community. I'm going to make sure I go visit the location, the store, before I leave for Africa. So I'll be reaching out to Brother Patrick and Sister Keisha to come out there and see the place.
Okay, President General, keep that thought in mind. June 1st, 2013, you're getting ready to open Jamaica Breeze.
Yeah.
Talk to us, because I love to hear that story. How what happened? Go ahead, share with us.
Yeah, but when I first was doing Jamaica Breeze, a lot of people were saying that, look, you can't sell Jamaican food by the pound. They're saying the dumpling, the yam, the banana, it's too heavy. Jamaican people are not going to buy it. But you have to realize, Brother Duguay, people want what they want to eat, when they want to eat, and how much of it they want to eat. You have to realize we eat with our eyes first. So when we see the food, we end up taking up more because we're in control of it, and we see it, we want to eat all of it. So it's a system that just giving people the choice. Oftentimes people would go into a store and say that, what I need some chicken, I need piece of fish, and I need some shrimp, and they're telling you that you can't have it that way. At Jamaica Breeze, we allow you to have it any way you can, any way you can. If you want a plate for $20, you can get it. If you want a plate for $5, the thing is, one of the first customer who came in that time, he bought something for $6.79. See, I remember clearly, because you're able to take what you want and how much of it you want. But I thank the community, because the community has supported us tremendously at Jamaica Breeze. Therefore, we have to support the community. Jamaica Breeze is always there for not only one, but for every single community based organization that asks us for donation. We donate to them. We usually don't ask anything of our people, but all we want to ask is that when you get donation from a community business, make sure you support another community business.
Well, we really have to get back on track, but I got to ask you this. When did the idea of the Rock come into your mind?
Well, I'm always seeing, even from my open, or even before that, because I had a restaurant downtown Brooklyn, from I mean two in Brooklyn, one on Nostrand Avenue and one downtown Brooklyn from 1990. And I'm always wondering, I'm just of that train of thought that why we can't do these things ourselves and we're boggled down. But what really got to me while managing Jamaica Breeze, I saw how much we were spending with some of these institutions that are not black. These people who are not from our community. These people who we spend the money with them at 9 a.m. and it leaves our community by 5 p.m. And when I look at the bottom line that I was spending each year, I said, I must be stupid. I must be really stupid. Have this cash going through my hands every single year, and I'm giving it to a non-black institution. So I say, you know what? Why not just be stupid and create our own? And I always wanted want.
I have to interrupt you. When did you ever stop plagiarizing Mr. Garvey? I mean, this is you got to stop this. I mean, come on, President General.
Well, then, Brother Raymond, whenever I stop plagiarizing Mr. Garvey, I don't deserve to live anymore because Mr. Garvey has brought greatness to us, and we must bring this greatness to our people because we don't believe, but we know Garvey and Garveyism is the only thing that worked for us since ancient Kemet. The only thing that worked for us. So why not do it again? Why not do it again, brother?
Okay, so you're spending all this money. That means you're making all that money. Well, we have to also be honest here. President General spending a ton of money, but the money's coming in. So, and then you say to yourself, why don't we just organize? Why don't we do it ourselves? Continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm saying due to the fact that I had two restaurants, and then when I decided to say do the rock, I understand the mindset of our people, and I know some of our business people would never support us because of the inferiority complex. I know that. So I know that also I must put my restaurants in a position that even if they're not doing that great, people will perceive that they're doing great because people love to be associated with greatness. What did Mr. Garvey said? Just win. All you have to do, just win, and everything else will take care of itself. So I also wanted to make sure that I have two restaurants that would serve as the base, the backbone of the rock, that it doesn't matter what happened outside, the rock will be guaranteed X amount of business each day, each week. And that's the platform that Jamaica Breeze created to ensure success for the rock. But
okay,
go ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
Now you go ahead, brother. Gentlemen first.
President General, we're going to get back to the topic, but this is fascinating. When the rock has opened and some of the food, because the rock is it's a food distributor. So sometimes the food can spoil or the food can start to, it's past its expiration. What would the rock do in those instances? And talk to us, how does that affect Jamaica Breeze?
Well, then Jamaica Breeze served as an insurance policy for the rock to ensure that there's a limited amount of spoilage on the rock. The thing is that after 2 days, 3 days the most, the perishable items, send them to Jamaica Breeze. And the thing at that point, we needed Jamaica Breeze to pay a higher cost because we needed the rock to be able to sustain itself. So I instructed the workers at the rock, send these things to Jamaica Breeze and send them at a premium price, because you have to realize that while the rock while Jamaica Breeze is an individual business, the Rock is a business for all black people. So we can't allow a business for all black people to fail. So Jamaica Breeze had to be that insurance company, insurance platform
Mm.
for the Rock.
Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. President General, I'm getting some text. It says that we keep repeating. So President, if you can look into it, I'm getting text saying that it's repeating. So please look into that. Okay. Having said that, okay, President General, yesterday I understand at the Rock, after 6 p.m., there was an event. There were some dignitaries, Ethiopian World Federation, UNIA. Talk to us. What happened and why did it happen? Go right ahead.
Yes, yes. The Minister of Culture from Ghana was in town, and the Ethiopian World Federation had meetings and function with them, and the Rock had to be one of those stops that were on the agenda. And it was an honor to host the minister and his queen, talking to them about culture in Ghana. They were excited to see a business that is owned by African people for African people. Totally impressed. They're asking us, please, to reach out to them when we come back to Ghana, as they want to play a role with everything that we're doing in Ghana as well. So it's the relationship we need to create, and we are building the bonds we're building among African people, that we need to build that self reliant economic base. That, of course, must be based in race first. So it was a wonderful evening. They were treated to some food from Jamaica Breeze, and they totally enjoyed it. Some from Jamaica Breeze Linden, and some from Jamaica Breeze Merrick.
Okay. In the future, just stick with Jamaica Breeze Linden. I am President General. That place is so close to me. And that's the place that I know. Even though I started with Jamaica Breeze Merrick, but you understand that, right?
Of course,
Jamaica
brother.
Breeze Linden,
Of course
you
I do.
understand that. Okay. Now, President General, before we leave this topic, I understand there was a young UNIA member that recited the UNIA official pledge. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, yes. Jonathan did it, and I am so proud of Jonathan, but I'm even prouder of his parents,
Yes, sir.
because both parents are involved, and both parents make sure that he's involved. And brothers and sisters, we have to come to our movement, and we have to bring our children, because we have to teach our children to lead. And Jonathan is in that position where now he's such a humble boy, say a humble boy who's ready to learn, and we have to build him. We have to train him to lead. So, brothers and sisters, if you're out there, join our ranks and bring your children, bring them to the math program on Saturdays to elevate their minds, elevate their consciousness. That's what we are here for.
Okay, President General, 1418. Some guy by the name of, well, his title is Pope. It's Martin V, 1418.
Yeah.
Some guy, some Portuguese guy named Henry, he calls himself a prince. That you're entitled to call yourself whatever you want. That's the first recorded event, first time Africans are brought into chains, into slavery, into Europe from the west coast of Africa.
Yes.
We're talking current day Mauritania and 1418. Okay. Why do we start with 1418? Well, that's the first time we know it's recorded. It definitely happened before, but we know that time.
Yes.
The point is, what they're calling the New World, what the Europeans call the New World, everybody on the planet knew what was in Africa. Everybody saw Europeans were going to Timbuktu to be educated.
Of course.
Forget ancient Egypt. Well, we can't. That's the first. Everybody came to ancient Kemet to study. We know that. But they, sometimes it's
No.
lost.
Tell them where Timbuktu is located, so people are
In Mali,
clear. Because
in
sometimes
Mali,
when you say Timbuktu, they speak about these places as if they're not in the heart of Africa. So please explain where Timbuktu is located.
Brothers and sisters, ancient Kemet, that's the top. Nobody's bigger. But when the Moors went into Europe, into Spain, into Portugal, when they went in there, they carried our education, our discipline, our structure. So while they were running the Iberian Peninsula and they went into France, the Europeans got together, stopped the encroachment in France. So they were pushed back into Spain and Portugal and Iberia. But then those Europeans wanted to know, where are these people getting? By the way, the first concept of bathing, the first concept of bathrooms, that was the Moors who introduced it in Europe. Anyway, so they wanted to know, where did these people get educated? So eventually Europeans found themselves in Timbuktu in Mali, current day Mali. Mali is a part of West Africa. It's not far from Senegal, not far from Burkina Faso, not far from Niger, West Africa. Anyway, everybody knew what was going on. They were just waiting and waiting. By 1340, guns and cannons become the big deal. Once they had their cannons and weapons, you know what they were going to do? They were going to go and conquest and domination. So today, when North America celebrates some guy from born in Genoa in Italy,
Yes.
they're celebrating his birthday. It's actually, or not his birthday, but what he so-called discovered. By the way, he didn't discover anything. He was already there to begin with. But he landed in Guanahani, Bahamas. So keep that in mind. And then after Bahamas, he went to Cuba. After Cuba, he landed in Mole Saint Nicolas, which is in Haiti, the place where I was born. That's by December. So October is in Guanahani in Bahamas. November, he's in Cuba. By December 6th, he arrives in what is current day. It's a town. It's outside of Haiti. It's Mole Saint Nicolas, northwest of Haiti. Anyway, what's my point, President General? They knew what was going on. They couldn't believe that these blacks had built such great civilizations. When they got to Timbuktu, the first university in Europe, the Moors built that in Spain.
Of course.
So everybody knew what Africans could do. They were just waiting and waiting and waiting until they could overpower us in the guns and cannons. President General, let me ask you a question. Those slave ships, that these white folks built, that they went into Africa, West Africa, help me out, President General. Were those slave ships coming into Africa? You mean they were going to do that trip and not leave with enslaved people?
Right.
So anybody to come and tell me we had any role in it, that's just wrong. It's evil. But they were the ones with the ships and the guns and the cannons. When they get to Africa, you mean they get lost, or they're just going to stop by? And if they don't find what they want, they're going to leave. Just like that. Of course not.
Brother Dugue, you have to realize that the European existence depended on them finding a financial solution. And slavery was it. Remember, John Hawkins had went years prior on voyages to Africa and saw what was happening and saw the benefit. So, Brother Raymond, they came with the plans. And that's why they came with the cannons. They came with the guns, because they knew that Africans were going to fight.
They had just imagine being bombarded. You can stay on the shore and just bombard the villages. mean, just think about it. This is savage. This is the end of all time if you're there. So for anyone to even insinuate, suggest that we had a role, we participated, other than being victims and enslaved and being enslaved and genocide being committed against us, we didn't do anything. We had no role in it, none of all. So, and then talk about this guy that is celebrating today. I don't even want to mention his name, but let me say this. It's not so much him who's the issue. If it wasn't him, it would have been somebody else because they were committed to that. That was definitely not going to let us be.
Of course.
Anyway, so, before he goes and asks some king and queen of Spain, Ferdinand and Isabella, I've got this idea. I can make you rich beyond your means. That's 1492. 1481, he's hanging out with another guy named Diego de Azumbuja. He was the one who built in Elmina, that slave dungeon. So Columbus, I hate to mention his name, he was there in Elmina, and that's the Portuguese name. It's Anomansa. He was there when they were doing that.
Of course.
And that's the very first slave dungeon built in West Africa. So for anyone to suggest that Columbus was an explorer, that he was going to seek out new routes, that can't be. It's a blatant lie. They knew exactly what they were about to do. And then how do we know that? Get this. There's a guy named Bartolome de las Casas. What he writes is, brothers and sisters, you cannot imagine the savagery. Columbus comes there, he gives them 3 months quota. Every 3 months, they had a huge set of barrels that they had to go fill with gold. Every 3 months, they would check on that. If you didn't meet your quota, your hands would be chopped, your fingers, sometimes your nose, your lips. This is savagery. Just think of the temper that was done. And then after in one generation, they wiped out all the indigenous people, all the Tainos, all the Araks, all the Caribs. So President General, not you, but you're crazed individual, only interested in domination and conquest. You've spent 40,000 years in the ice. The whole concept of sharing, of communalism, you have no idea about. All you know is savagery, and that's all you can think of. After you kill off these indigenous people, what do? Africa, everybody knew what was going on there. Everybody. By 1503, Columbus has enslaved Africans in Haiti, all of that island. And by 1522, the very first recorded enslaved African rebellion is known. Meaning, we know it for sure in 1522, but it definitely could have been earlier because we don't know what's recorded. This one we do know, and it was on the plantation of Columbus' son. So, President General, that's why you started off the show with history. We really do need to know our history. So the further we go back, the more forward we can go. But you need to know history, or any history, which is our history, so you won't be misled and fooled by this nonsense. So, just imagine celebrating the savagery that was done. It was so bad. De la Casas he would weep at night. He said, this is ridiculous. This is evil. But what's De la Casa's solution? Not to attack these indigenous people, go to Africa. So even as revolting, as repulsed as he was, but what's his solution? We should go to Africa. President General, do we have any friends? Will we ever have any friends? And what's the solution?
The friends are not coming. It must be race first. Race first for him, race first for us. If we don't develop the race first platform, we will be subjected to this nonsense again because we will have no defense. All things need to do is to get hard for them again, tough times again, and you would see how quickly they would be willing to throw us back in slavery. So, brothers and sisters, when we say these things must not happen again, the only way we can guarantee that is to build our self economic base that is based in race first, and be able to teach ourselves, love ourselves, protect ourselves, brothers and sisters. That's what we have to do. This world is not fair. It will never be fair. The strong will always oppress the weak.
Two quick things. The strong always oppresses the weak. President General, when we were the strongest on the planet, when we educated the planet, did we ever oppress the weak?
Of course not, because we are people of God. We have always been people of God. But you have to realize that the powers that be, because of their evilness, the things they did to us, they're afraid that if we ever have the upper hand again, they're afraid what we will do to them. But they know that naturally we were created to lead this earth. That's the reason why the hatred is so strong against the African man. Brothers and sisters, Marcus Garvey said it best. Mr. Garvey said that this world is run on a bluff, meaning that the leaders are bluffing, but we have bought into the bluff. How I can tell you that we have bought into the bluff? There's no way 8% of the world controls 92% of the world unless he's bluffing you. He's convincing you that everything he has is superior to what you and your people have. So, brothers and sisters, let's not follow the bluff anymore. Let's build, let's build, let's build. And how we start building? We start building tonight. We start using this race first platform that we have created here, this radio program, community focus under the banner of the UNIA Rock Media. Become a member of this program. Become a daily listener. Create a chat with your families and friends and tell them about this program and get them to get involved. Bring your ideas forward, because this is the platform that in a few years we're going to be able to reach millions of people around the world. But we must build it. Brothers and sisters, we can't take out the benefits from this platform here until we have put in the work to create the benefits. So help us create, brothers and sisters. Help us build. This is our platform. If you haven't signed up yet, please sign up. If you haven't tell a friend as yet, please tell a friend, and let's make this platform big, that when we make our movies and our documentaries, we can highlight them right here worldwide, where African people are seen for themselves. Brothers and sisters, help us to unearth the truth that has been locked in the ground, brothers and sisters. Thank you.
Okay, President General, and as we get ready to wrap up, let me talk to you about Columbus's third voyage. The whole purpose of the third voyage was to dispute, was to denounce the belief that Africans had already been to this area of the world.
Yes.
Because when Columbus gets there, they tell him, no, Africans have been here. They were black, dark-skinned, woolly-haired people.
Of course.
He couldn't believe it. So the third voyage, his only interest is how could they have done it? And that's why he ends up in Trinidad, in those areas.
But then, Brother Raymond, all those things that Columbus came saying, Columbus was lying. It's not that he didn't know, because even when he came to the Americas and the golden spears that he had, that they gave him, they told him that these were given from people from Guinea. So he know. So he sent back to test it. and realized that the gold
Yes, sir.
that they gave him had proven to be correctly from Guinea. So it wasn't that Columbus didn't know, but you have to realize that these Europeans have lied to us 99 times. Why are we going to believe them on the 100th time? Please go ahead, my brother.
Well, you took it out of you took the cat out of the bag. No, but this is, and that's what he says. He's gonna refute that. He's gonna prove it. What proof? What? How was he gonna refute that? What he already knew. Plus, he was there in 1481, 1482 with Azambuja. Brothers and sisters, the purpose of unearthing anything is to learn from it and to project it, to use it for our own benefit. Can you imagine? The North America is celebrating. I mean, a day off from school, banks are closed, no postal service, no sanitation. They're honoring murderous savages. So what can we expect for us if this is one of their heroes? Brothers and sisters, there's no one coming to our rescue. None. Only one that can come to our rescue is us, our people. And so please use this platform. Number one, as President General just said, make sure you sign in so our numbers can increase. But join the UNIA. That's the best thing to do. Then shop at the Rock, invest in the Rock. And after you do all that, come to Africa. In about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we'll be in Kenya where we belong. And then after that, we'll be in Ethiopia where
Less than 2 weeks, brother. Less than 2 weeks.
Okay.
We'll be in Kenya.
So we'll be on October 20th. That's right, 11 days from now. So all I've got to say is, use every event to uplift and rally around. And no matter what, just look something like a day off today. It ends up being, we can discuss Bobby because this is how they built this empire. I mean, we can go on forever, but just imagine you're building something, you're getting people that you're gonna beat and brutalize, then you never pay them, then you brutalize them some more, and then you also rape their women, rape their females, so you can continue the nastiness, the miscegenation. Nah, this was, in fact, Azambuja, that was one of the first things he did. He violently took our women, raped, and to create what they call that mulatto class. Same thing. So Columbus already knew that from Ghana. So when they went to this world, they knew what they were going to do. So I'm going to leave you right there, President.
Yes, brothers and sisters. It doesn't get any better. The responsibility is ours, each and every one of us. We have been placed on this earth here for a reason. Make sure you capitalize that reason. Make sure you accentuate the positive of those reasons. Make sure you bring them forward to help our people, my brothers and sisters. That's what we are placed here for. As I say, we're using this platform to build. Join our ranks in the UNIA as we march forward to our parade next year, August 17th, where we want to bring 10,000 Africans out in the street. Each and every one of you, take the day off from work. It's our holiday. It will be a Saturday. So even if you work, celebrate it and take it off anyway, brothers and sisters. The work continues. Brother, tomorrow we will continue the conversation and we'll talk about African unity. We can also talk about the role that the religious facilities play in enslaving our people and colonizing us. We need to bring those things forward. We'll speak about African unity and what each and every one of us, you yourself, can play in this role of African unity. Brother Raymond, I turn it over to you to close it out.
Okay. Today is Monday, October 9th, 2023. Thank you for listening to the UNIA Rock Media. So please repeat after me, all of you beautiful, Black, and noble Africans. Okay. Africa.
Africa.
For the Africans.
For the Africans.
Those at home.
Those at home.
and those abroad.
and those abroad.
One God,
One God,
one aim,
one aim,
and one destiny.
and one destiny.
Long live Carlos Stokes, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Haiti, and your President General, the Honorable Michael R. Duncan. See you tomorrow on the radio. Have a good night.
Good night. Thank you.
The Community Focus Show is brought to you by Jamaica Breeze.